All of America.
The biggest, the best ever, Devin. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of On It. We are here. You got me. You got Devin. We are back. And boy, do we have some things to talk about, Devin. We got some players they got drafted. We got some NBA playoffs to discuss. We got some other things besides that. But a lot about the NFL draft and the NBA playoffs.
It's it's very rare we talk about day 3 of the NFL draft.
So, okay, here's the thing. Very similar to like how rare it is for people to talk about like, round 2. Oh, hey, shout out to them. Very similar to like round 2 NBA drafts or
Yeah,
NBA draft picks, like it's not the it's
unless
not like the
it's
Bronny. Yeah,
LeBron James Jr. Yeah,
exactly. Perfect sense. Now, beautiful segue because obviously we've talked about every draft pick that was important to this podcast except one, and we were told. Well, at first we were
well,
told it was going to be
except
day
two.
one.
There was another one that was important.
Who else? Who else we miss?
Scatterboops.
Bo. Yeah, but see, he's going to New York, and
Death sentence.
yeah, I just don't. I don't know. Like, ah, the problem is he's gonna be like he's gonna be like part of like the core, I guess, of their rebuild.
Yeah,
So he's not gonna get out of there until like like if
it's gonna be
he
4 or 5 years.
if he develops
Yeah,
um in the next like 4 or 5 years, gets a contract from them, he's gonna be looking at like 6 to 8 years. He's gonna be trying to get out of there. He's gonna be 30
stuck
years
in New
old.
York.
I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know. I don't love
but I
it.
mean, do you think that that team is going to be looked at as a potential playoff team? It's Russ, Malik Neighbors, Cam Scatabo.
Let
Defense
me see.
sucks. O line isn't
Russ.
great.
Uh, I don't know because see, here's
Not
the
in
thing
this
about
division.
there's no way. Like, no, the Giants are absolutely not in any type of um playoff conversation. I mean, we put them at 0% to make the Super Bowl. So,
We
I
did.
mean, I guess
Cam's not
chance.
going to move that needle. Yeah, so
I guess chance to make the playoffs. Sure, I guess it's not 0%,
yeah,
but it's not much higher than 0%.
yeah.
Okay, but the other one, the other draft pick, you know, it was supposed to be day one, and then it was like a guarantee lock.
It was a
It was
lock
day
day too.
two,
It was like impossible not to be
and
drafted day 2.
on day three,
A team on day 3, 5th round, a team
mm-hmm.
who had already drafted a quarterback
Yep,
in round what 2?
yes.
In round 2, drafts another quarterback.
Um, okay. See,
Shedeur
and
Sanders. But
like what should we get off? What should we get off? Like get out of the way for the Shedeur Sanders? Like because there's obviously a lot of different narratives being pushed and like different reasonings for different from different people for why he was drafted when he was. Now, me personally, obviously, I think we've made this clear. I think he more got drafted, in a way more realistic spot.
yeah, I
Like
think it's where a quarterback who went to Colorado should get drafted.
when we talk about like if he wasn't Shedeur Sanders, if he was Shedeur Jenkins with the same exact accomplishments in college, yeah, no, he's a fourth or fifth round quarterback,
Yeah,
and you're gonna be fighting for a spot on the depth chart.
exactly.
And it's just crazy to me how like because you're right. It's like when have we ever sat here and watched a fifth round quarterback get drafted? And it's like, all right, well, time for him to prove everybody wrong. Like
Exactly.
now, it's like it's been this conversation of like now he's gonna prove everybody wrong when like he is gonna have to get it. Like he's gonna have to prove that he can be one of the 53 men on the roster.
Hmm.
Like, because what is it? It's so he's gonna be
Pickett.
between Pickett, Gabriel, and like you
No,
can
no, no,
people.
no. Pickett, Flacco, Slough, or Shao.
Did I flip? No,
Gabriel
you
went
flipped.
somewhere else. Where did Gabriel go?
No, you flipped. Gabriel is a Brown. Dylan Gabriel is a Cleveland Brown.
Shao's a Saint.
A Saint. Yeah, you flipped it.
Oh, so he's behind Dylan Gabriel. I thought he was behind Shao. He's behind Dylan. Oh, fuck ass no, bro.
So
you not only have to prove that you're better than a first round
40.
pick.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 40-year-old, but yeah.
Well, you have to. Well, you
second
have to
round
prove
pick.
that you're better than a guy who's been in the league for a few years, a 40-year-old plus a higher draft pick than you.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. I in my eyes, it was if it's Joe Flacco, Pickett, and Dylan Gabriel, that's already a full quarterback room.
Yep.
Plus, if they're shit, then they're just going to throw a healthy D-Watt when he returns on the field if they want to. I mean, it's like it's going to be a serious problem just being a starting quarterback or just a quarterback on this depth chart.
Yeah, not even being a quarterback who does start. Like, it's going to be tough to not be on the practice squad.
Let's see. Let's get everything out of the way for the Shedeur Sanders excuses.
Yeah.
The personality thing. So people were saying like he had really bad interviews and didn't want to interview with a lot of teams who weren't drafted in top 5 or 10 or whatever the rumors were. I don't know how much.
Sure.
I don't know what's a rumor and what's a fact, to be completely honest with you, just because of how much comes out during this shit.
A lot of it was like, yeah, he didn't talk to the top 5 team or anybody outside the top 5. I don't know how true that is, but apparently the interviews from the top 5 teams were some of the worst interviews they'd ever seen.
Well, bro, I mean, you hear the way Deion talks. It's like It's like there's certain teams that I'm just not going to allow him to go to. It's like, well, off the rip, I know there were organizations that looked at that and were like, well, we're not even going to interview, bro. Like, I'm not even going to waste my time. And
then those top 5 teams don't come looking for you because they've already found other options.
And the interview that they did have, or the interviews that he did have, yeah, the reports of them not going well.
Yep.
So they chalk it up to, man, Shedeur slid to the 5th round because of his personality. We have seen...
I think that's bullshit.
Devin. A bad personality does not mean a goddamn thing when it comes to the NFL draft.
Thank you.
Are we really going to sit here and pretend like we haven't seen player after player? Okay, so we watched a player... who we watched? We watched Laramie Tunsil literally like an hour before the draft get exposed with a gas mask on his face.
A gas mask bomb.
And dropped...
First round.
10, 15 picks.
Yeah,
Still was drafted in the first round. Went from like a top 5...
literally 5 minutes before the draft started, projected like top 10, 15, dropped to late first round.
Remember that guy that was like racing with another guy and then like people died?
Like,
Remember that? Remember that happened? And then, like, he won a Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl. Carter. He won a Super Bowl last year.
Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter, not Jordan Davis. But, yeah, won a Super Bowl last year with the Eagles and was still drafted in the...
First round.
First round? Oh, he was a first-round pick?
Maybe second.
Okay. No. Jalen Carter was a first-round pick. I want to say you're absolutely right.
Because he fell to the Eagles, which he should not have.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
He should have been
drafted in the why aren't they showing it to me? Either way, like day one's top value at number. Where the fuck did Jalen Carter get drafted? Where I don't.
I think it was like 25th or 26th pick to the Eagles.
Draft pick. Why can I not find Jalen Carter's draft pick? Dude, he was pick fucking 9. So.
He was the 9th pick?
Yes.
Oh, never mind.
The man was the 9th pick overall and was involved in a fucking manslaughter or vehicle manslaughter. Like what? Yeah. Devin, like it don't got nothing to do about attitude or personality.
Aaron Hernandez, they knew something
was going on.
Everyone knew something was going on.
Something was going on with Aaron Hernandez. I mean, and obviously some of the things we talked about weren't as big a deal as like this, but I mean, shit, people still had a bad taste in their mouth about Cam Newton, in the shit with Florida.
For real.
And I'm not just saying that because I'm dripped in fucking orange, but
but it was like this is a personality issue.
It was a personality thing. So,
people view Tebow as a personality issue.
in the complete like opposite swing of the pendulum.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, bro, you're too much.
You're too good. You're too Jesus.
Yeah. So it's just, it has
To
absolutely.
chalk this up to solely a personality issue from now, it may not just be from Shedeur's personality. It could be from what will come with that with Dion, and a lot of people talked about that. I still don't believe that though. Dion is full time Colorado head coach. I don't think he's going to be putting a whole lot of effort into running Shedeur's life in the NFL.
I mean, I don't know how he would.
Exactly, he's got a full
But
schedule.
there's no like, bro. I'm like, I need people. I need these Shedeur fans to really be realistic because here's the thing, and this isn't me being sour. This is me relating, because obviously I've accepted my players who have came and went and have become washed or whatever.
Sure.
Let me make an example. I was very young because I'm imagining like a lot of just like 13-year-olds, like or like 12-year-olds. Like I'm saying, like who are Shedeur fans? Like the fan base, like it has to be majority. Like the frontal lobe is like nowhere near fully formed.
There's a lot of old dudes.
Old dudes that maybe that frontal lobe is going away, and it's just it's like, man, y'all don't know about. Either way, I was young, very young, and I loved Tim Tebow.
Yep.
Thought he was great. Thought he was amazing. The man was winning a Heisman, winning a national championship. One of the best college football players, in my opinion, the best college football player of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Gets drafted in the first round, mind you.
Yep.
I'm excited. I'm happy about it. Now, people, even at the time, shit on it.
Mm-hmm.
Said he wasn't going to be able to play quarterback in the NFL. Spent one season, doing what he did. Won a playoff game. They said, Peyton Manning's available. Tim Tebow, your career is over. Yep. I had to watch the man go ride bitch to with Mark Sanchez with the Jets. I had to watch him try out with the Eagles and play better than fucking half the quarterbacks I've seen 5 years ago and still couldn't make the 53-man roster. Bill Belichick couldn't stand that media out of all the people he's signed, Chad Johnson, and had fucking Aaron Hernandez walking around calling him daddy. Randy Moss. He couldn't have Tim Tebow in the locker room with reporters around him, but could have fucking Jimmy Garoppolo being a fucking model and doing either way. Yeah. Anyway, or sign Cam Newton or Antonio Brown. Exactly. Either way.
Antonio fucking Brown.
Anyways, and then Jacksonville Jaguars baseball. Oh, look,
playing tight end. Yeah, he's a baseball player now.
I watched and I had to accept it. Like there came to a point where it was like, oh, he's just trying to make the team.
Yeah.
He's just trying, and this isn't. I mean, and that's just one example. There's probably at this point in my life hundreds of players just come out of college, come out of Florida or whatever, and it's like I'm excited, and then it's like womp womp womp. Matt Elam, fucking Vernon Hargraves, like.
I know you weren't huge on AR.
I wasn't huge on AR,
but there was a touch of support. It wasn't like it was definitely nowhere near Tebow level, but it was like give him a shot type of support.
Give him a shot. I never got to see Kyle Trask get a shot. I watched Kyle Pitts fall apart. I watched Kadarius Toney fall apart. It's just like I've seen a lot of players that I'm excited to if it's just gonna get to a point where people have to accept that Shedeur Sanders is now fighting to be on a roster.
Yeah.
He has to make a 53-man roster. And to be completely honest with you, his best shot is what? QB3?
They're not going to keep 4 quarterbacks. If they do, it'll be unprecedented, and it'll only be because it's keeping Shedeur Sanders on their 53-man roster.
I believe the jersey sales are already through the roof.
I bet.
So, I mean,
if you are going to ditch a guy, but it's like they're definitely keeping Dylan Gabriel.
Yes.
He's a first-round draft pick.
They're keeping Joe. They're keeping Joe. They didn't.
I guess they're split between Joe and Pickett.
They didn't bring Joe in, bro. let's
But it's
be
such a dumb position to be in. It's like,
let's be so fucking okay. But here's the thing: if you have this locker room, you got Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur. They're gonna learn more off of Joe Flacco
Joe
than Kenny
Flacco.
Pickett. I mean, you might if you're gonna try something with Shedeur Samuels and Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel, you might as well have someone. You might as well have fucking Joe Flacco in a locker room
Yeah.
trying to teach them something. Either way, like I, I don't want to just say it because it's just I don't really see it being a possibility. Even like I can't find a way to say why he should make the roster.
Well, I don't think there's a worse team. I think there are worse teams, but it's a pretty bad team to go to because they had already drafted a quarterback. They're in need of a quarterback, but they know that regardless, he's not going to be good enough to be ready this year over the other options that they have. He probably would have been better going off to a team that has a stable quarterback and he can go play QB2, QB3. Right now, it's like they're still working out their QB situation, and they've got three guys who more than likely will be better than him.
I'm sorry. Like if Shedeur Sanders goes into training camp, goes into preseason games, and he cannot outplay Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and you don't want to end his career, I would expect bro to be a practice squad player next year.
Yeah.
Like something. Like there's no way unless he goes out and absolutely dominates and plays better than all of them, which
Yeah.
sure is a possibility, but it's just I don't see it the same way I don't see Dylan Gabriel going out there and shocking the world because that's another thing I see a lot of people say it's well, so who do you think's better than him that got drafted above him? So what quarterbacks would you say are better than him? It's like besides Cam Ward, who to be completely honest with you,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think is gonna go out there and shock the world and be some type of
I don't.
CJ Stroud or Jaden
I don't think
Daniels
so
next
either. I
season.
mean, I think it's a fairly weak quarterback
Super
draft,
weak. He was just the top. He was the top of the class.
and it wasn't really until late where it was like, oh yeah, he we'll put him one. Um, but I think that this is a draft that's I wouldn't call it similar to Lamar and Josh Allen's draft in 2018, but I think there's some sleepers because it's like I think in that draft it was like what Baker, Josh Allen, Josh Rosen, maybe, or was he the draft before that? I don't know, but
Sam Darnold,
I think
maybe.
that there's a few sleepers in here. I think Jackson Dart's a pretty decent sleeper. I think
It's cool.
Gabriel's not that bad,
Ah, I
but
think Dylan Gabriel
but
sucks, but like, sure.
but we're looking at Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville, who was the top pick in the 2021 draft and hasn't done anything for that team yet, and they're looking for a way out for him.
Yeah, but there's a difference between. There's a clear difference between Trevor Lawrence and Dylan Gabriel.
I I understand, but I mean sometimes we get shocked by some of these later draft pick quarterbacks. I mean,
But I don't
I
even.
don't think
I don't.
any of us thought that Josh Allen would be Josh Allen coming out of Wyoming. No one's
I
looking
don't
at
know.
Josh Allen. No
To
one's
be
looking at a what's his nuts from Utah State, Packers fucking quarterback.
Jordan Love.
No one's thinking that.
To be completely honest with you, though, I don't think Dylan Gabriel's starting. I think it's going to be Pickett or Joe Flacco. That's who I
I
think is going to be
agree.
starting for the Browns. I mean, it's just that's the thing. Besides Cam Ward, I don't think any of these quarterbacks are that good. So it's like, yeah,
I'm not sure how good Cam Ward is either.
Shedeur could have been drafted in the second round
Yeah.
instead of fucking Shlomo or whoever to the Saints. It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
sure, he could have.
But like we had talked about before, it's like this is a time in the league where there's not a lot of open quarterback positions, and if there are, there's still other guys who are maybe later in their career still fighting for jobs.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, I um, I just if people were being realistic and just put their fandom or bias aside and like took a look at because what is it? I believe I sent it to you. If I'm not mistaken, I believe I sent it to you. It was like I saw like the best quarterbacks drafted fifth round or
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
So
It
what we
was
got here?
Tom and then nobody else.
You ready? So here are the best quarterbacks drafted fifth round or later. So you got Tom Brady. Cool, right?
The greatest
Perfect.
quarterback of all time.
Okay. Matt Hasselback.
We're gonna get
Mark.
the ball and we're gonna score.
We're gonna get the ball and we're gonna score.
Yep.
Mark Brunell. Mark Bulger. Trent Green.
Bolger, I hardly know him.
Brad Johnson. Oh, and Mark Ripien.
Mark Rip, Super Bowl MVP,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Super Bowl
So,
champ.
so, yeah. It's like, could he be a Mark Ripien? I don't know. I
Could he
don't
be a
think
Tom
so.
Brady?
No, absolutely not. That's a big fat no as well. But I'm just saying, it's like that's
AP
that's
on
what
my
it is.
wrist,
I
not
will say,
shining.
I'll say this. The reason I'm kind of like trying, like what I say is like I'm somewhat trying to relate is because there were moments where just on a human level, I did feel bad.
A
Like
little
I
bit.
never feel bad when it comes to us criticizing and we're having these takes and like people are sitting here going he's a fucking top 5 quarterback. It's like no we can whoa we will like we'll pump the brakes on any type of love that's undeserved or hype that's undeserved. But like the prank call shit, that was I'll say this. The prank call shit was lame. But at the same
The
time,
prank call shit is lame, but yeah,
okay, the prank call shit was lame, but also only caring that Shedeur got prank called
yeah,
is also lame.
yeah.
Like multiple player like when it came out that when it came out that Shedeur had got prank called, multiple players also got prank called. It wasn't just Shedeur.
No,
Multiple players
exactly.
got because as soon as I saw that he was getting prank called, and I started to wonder like if it happened before, and like right after that I saw this clip of like Cooper DeJean last
Yeah,
year getting prank called like
yeah.
multiple times before he got drafted by the Eagles. So this is maybe not super common, but this is a thing.
It's the thing.
Like
It's happened many a time in many
now
a sports.
Now the fact that they just got everything on camera, or there's a camera on Shador at all times, and they're
Do you
gonna,
know who prank called him?
yeah, who prank called him.
I know who prank called him.
I know who prank called him.
It was the Falcons' DC's son.
Hilarious.
Well, the DC should face repercussions for.
Yeah,
How does he get Shador's number?
he goes into his dad's email and gets Shador's number.
That's fair.
What do you mean?
Totally
You
fair.
think his dad went here prank call Shador?
Fuck no.
No, he went
No,
into
that
his
was
dad's
his
email.
son doing that. But no, you're right. But I mean, at the same time, it's like he didn't. He just said, "All right, just keep waiting."
Well, that's the thing. It's like a
Like
prank call is not
it's not like it
illegal.
was like, "All right, we're gonna take you next time."
Well, that's the thing. It's like this is why I can't feel bad. It's like we all knew he was gonna get drafted. So I mean,
Everyone knew he was gonna get drafted. Yes.
it's like if it's like I don't know. I just it was like I said, it was lame, but it's also lame that people only cared that it happened to him, and then this happened, and then we find out that it happened to other players and
Well,
other players in the
it's
past.
like I getting drafted in the NFL is impressive. Um, it was still weird to me that he treated being drafted in the fifth round the same way that he would have been that he would have treated being drafted in the first. Like I understand it's cool to be drafted at any point in the NFL, but I think for him, it's like you should be upset if you think that you are a no matter what top 5 at least first round pick. You should be upset that you're being drafted 5 fucking rounds later.
Yeah, but like
But I get
it,
it. You're getting drafted in the NFL. That's an accomplishment.
if we're talking in terms of like, he has this bad personality, I mean, it would be in best, like, just in terms of to make him look, just to make him look good if he's just, still just super grateful for the opportunity
Sure.
and to not be like, oh, well, I think I should have been, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, prove that in training camp. I
Yes.
don't know. You just outplay Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett and Dylan fucking Gabriel.
Yeah.
And like, if you cannot do that, well,
Yeah.
then we're right. Like I said, like, this is why I said we need to hit the reset. Like, now we're back at we're at, this is a whole different, like, trajectory for Shedeur. Because at first it was going to be,
But
he's going to
I
be
think it's
drafted
one
top
that can
five.
be more beneficial to him if he has to sort of work his way up.
Yeah, I
Because
mean, yeah.
you look at the number 1 overall pick from last year, Caleb Williams.
Uh-huh.
Not impressive.
Yeah, but if you look at the difference between Caleb Williams
Exactly.
and what he did before getting drafted and Shedeur Sanders, what
Exactly.
he did as a college football quarterback, one was a Heisman and one wasn't, like, at
Yep.
all, or like anywhere near that, like
Yep.
like outside looking in,
Yep.
congratulating his teammate for being the Heisman. He's
Yep.
not a Heisman winning quarterback at all. Would you say 8th place, 9th place? It's like,
8th.
yeah, you were probably 11th place fucking Heisman votes last year. Like, it's just not. No, he's not. No, there's no Heisman. He is in absolutely no Heisman caliber
But
whatsoever.
and I mean, just to give him the benefit of the doubt, it's like C.J. Stroud wasn't a Heisman. Jaden Daniels was a Heisman, but yeah, last year's Heisman. No?
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah, well, the year before he went into the league. It's 2
Yeah.
seasons ago. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. 2 seasons ago. So, yeah, I mean, it's difficult to sort of gauge where some of these guys are going to be. I'm not saying that Shedeur is going to be a Lamar Jackson or a Josh Allen or a Mahomes or a Burrow or anybody, but there is some of that unknown on his side, and if he can get through, then he might. If he is good, if he can get through Joe Flacco, then maybe he can be good. But
It's not
there's so many
happening,
guys
dude. When you draft a
above
fucking
him.
quarterback that you know is going to be your guy, you treat him a certain way. You bring in the fucking franchise leader and let him unretire his number for you to wear. It's not Shedeur Sanders getting
Exactly.
drafted in the 5th fucking round
But no,
when they already
you
drafted a
bring in one of
quarterback
the
in the
greatest
same draft.
quarterbacks of all time in Warren Moon, and you give him your number.
Yeah.
Like, that's real. That's impressive.
Like, Shedeur's not going to New England and Tom's like, you got it. You got 12,
number
buddy.
12, brother.
Like, it's not, I don't know. It's not happening. So I'm moving on from that. Shedeur Sanders is a Brown. Hilarious. I mean, it's
We'll wait and see.
we'll wait and see. But it's going to be a
Or
lot
he
of
could
waiting.
turn the Browns franchise around.
It's going to be a lot of waitings. I'm telling you right now, after the preseason of this year, we will not be talking about Shedeur Sanders.
I know.
I promise you. I promise you that.
And we won't be talking about Shiloh.
I
We'll be talking about Trev.
Yeah, we'll be talking about Travis Hunter. We'll be talking about that. Golden State wins 109-106. They're up 3-1. Beautiful. That is beautiful. You love to see it. Even though Draymond's still just a big mouth idiot.
Did none of us take Steph Curry?
No. None of us took Steph Curry.
Good.
Neither of us took Steph Curry. I took Rockets players. I think I took Jalen Green.
You took Jalen Green, yeah.
But all right. The Lakers, Devin. They're falling apart.
They've fallen.
They're falling apart. They're down 3-1. I would say it's everything but over. Like, it's I there's no way. I don't know. They're not coming back from this.
No.
If they do, they play their best basketball 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
And then they got to do that the next round? I mean, it's just
the next round,
okay.
Exactly.
Like, if this proved anything, if this Luka trade proved anything for the Lakers, And I kind of, I don't want to prematurely pat myself on the back, but I kind of said that this was going to happen. They're going to give us highlights and hope in the regular season, and when it comes to clicking in the postseason, it's not going to work.
It's not going to be there.
This Luka trade, and if I knew that, you're not telling me nobody in the fucking Lakers head office or no brain in that facility had that thought in the back of their mind, which is, we are not making this trade to help LeBron win anything else. This is purely for the future.
This is purely
The
future.
Lakers,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This Luka trade proves
No,
nothing.
this is to get the next biggest star in the NBA to be a Laker.
This Luka trade proved that they are no longer trying to win with LeBron.
Is this a Shaq type of trade? Or a Shaq type of pickup?
No. What are you talking about?
I'm saying, like, pulling Shaq from the Magic to the Lakers.
Oh, yeah, no, it's definitely just a big-ass superstar move. But what I'm saying is, it's like, maybe just in theory, fantasy booking, it's like, oh, man, Luka and LeBron, why not? But it's like, I've sat here every single game and thinking, like, just thought, like, wow, what Anthony Davis could do, what a healthy Anthony Davis could be doing right now for this Lakers team. Because no matter how many times Luka sits there, iso ball, and chucks that bitch up, and no matter how many points he scores, if LeBron James gets 5 shot attempts in the fourth fucking quarter and played all 12 minutes, mind you, all 5 starters played every single minute of the second half. He played the entire second half, went 0 for 5 in the fourth quarter. If LeBron gets 5 shots off in the fourth quarter, yeah, fuck Brian, put the house on the market or retire, because you don't want to play for the Lakers anymore.
No.
Because you got fucking I don't know. The way they play, like, they will figure out once a week. The Lakers will figure out once a week how to mesh with LeBron. Like,
yes,
LeBron and Luka once a week will figure out how to mesh.
Yes.
Like, all right, we're on.
I mean, I wouldn't even call it a meshing. It's just like Luka has such a good game, and Bron plays a little bit better than he would if it was completely one-sided. But outside of them both playing decent, it's completely one-sided. It's Luka dropping 40 or Bron dropping 40 and the other guy dropping 15 to 20. And there's only so much you can ask of Austin Reeves, plus the defensive loss that you get with Luka is way too big to make up for anything Anthony Davis could have done.
Well, remember what I said. Every starter played every single second of the second half.
Yeah.
Luka on fumes in the fourth quarter?
Nothing.
Like if you go watch that game, you watch Luka deteriorate into just like, all right, I got the ball. Fuck it.
Dude, I saw him. It was either game 2 or 3. It was first quarter. He was hands on the knees. I'm beat. I'm tired. Like, this is terrible.
But you had everybody on fumes. You had fucking AR and Dorian Finney-Smith taking terrible shots. They had terrible looks. You had LeBron getting no looks. You had Luka on fumes, still being the floor general. It's like, it's not gonna happen when you got Anthony Edwards on the. And you know what? And this is the one thing that I'm happy about. It's like, we do get to see that fucking killer just go absolutely insane. Like, Anthony Edwards
by himself,
whether he likes it or not, is the new face of the NBA, or the future face of the NBA. It's not Tatum, it's not Luka, it's not Ja, it's not whoever. It's Anthony Edwards. He is about to take down LeBron and Luka by his fucking self.
I love it.
Dolo,
Well, Ja gets swept.
Down double digits. Ant said, "Fuck it, give me the ball," and just took over. It's just, when you got 40-year-old LeBron hustling the most, playing the best defense on your team. Like I said, getting no looks. Luka on fumes.
I think it was, again, game 2 or 3. Bron was moving I've never seen him play defense where he like just fully attacks. It was such a weird style of defense. I don't know. It was intense, but it was like
Oh no,
he would
no.
jump out to the three and then just get beat.
But Braun was out there killing
He's hustling.
Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Game 4. They were going. That's what I'm saying. Like he had the best hustle out of every single Laker on that court.
Yeah.
You had,
And
and like I said, when you got these people with running on fumes, who the fuck's gonna guard Ant?
yeah.
I mean, it's just, it was a recipe for disaster. And to be completely honest with you, this might be if you want to like point fingers at anybody. You know that podcaster, JJ Redick, that got the
You
job.
know that guy who blows LeBron every week for extra dollars?
Like I don't care who it is, running your starting five the entire second half. Up, mind you, there was a point where they were up.
Mind you, it's a 40-year-old and then a 28-year-old and a 40-year-old's body.
And they were
They're
up
your stars, and you're running them 24 minutes.
They were up like 11 or 12 in the second half at some point. I want to say like they were up, and I guess
bring Reeves and let him cook.
Reeves was one of them. It was the starting lineup. Right. The I don't want to.
Do they have a bench?
Yeah, it's Bronny and Gabe Vincent or whatever the fuck.
Well, they've severely underused Dalton Connect.
I don't know if they want to throw a rookie in this spotlight.
I think Connect can put up more than a Bronny or a Gabe Vincent or some of these other guys.
At this point, they might as well try anything.
Yeah, I mean, Connect's been impressive for little runs.
Because there's just no way. There's no way they're coming back from this 3-1 deficit. I mean, it's just an Ant dropping 43 like it's nothing. I mean, it's just it's over. It's over. And I'm excited
I mean, Ant's shooting ability, Ant's ability to control the floor, plus his hustle. Like he's not a liability on defense. He's not a great defender, but he's not a liability like Luka is. Luka is a 100% liability. Like if you don't score on Luka, if Luka's guarding you one-on-one, you don't score, there's an issue.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like, so Luka beats Ant to make the finals last season, and then you get to go play with LeBron James, and you're about to lose to Ant without Cat.
Without Cat.
It's just. You got Julius Randle like playing good, like playing well. It's just.
Do you think it's somewhat similar? It's like you get Luka playing by himself essentially last year. I mean, having Kyrie obviously, but outside of that, the rest of the team was role players.
Yeah. And
now you get the reverse. You get Ant playing by himself. The rest of the team outside of fucking Rudy Gobert. Maybe Mike Conley, like, is role players. So, yeah, I mean, both of these guys are, maybe they thrive a little bit more with that freedom.
I mean, it's starting to look like the secret recipe.
But it's a secret recipe to an extent. It's like, no, you can beat a team that will struggle, but you hit a Warriors wall, you hit a Celtics wall, and it's a different story.
A level-headed team of like role players and maybe a star or two playing around their superstar can beat a team of just superstars thrown together.
Exactly.
But then, like you said, but then if they run into just a very well like constructed, complete team, like
with a big star,
like Boston,
yeah. Oh, well, yeah, sure, yeah.
Then it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
But if you look at a team like Minnesota right now, or the Mavericks last year, it's like, yeah, no, you just throw LeBron and Luka or whatever type of superstar duo. It's like they might not mesh well, and you got this team who everybody knows their role, everybody loves their role, and it's just
and that's kind of why I think OKC can be dangerous. I see them in a similar way to to Boston, where it's like you have stars, but you have role players who are impressive. Like there's a reason they swept Memphis. Memphis has a star, but their role players are not that impressive. They're role players. That's it.
Yeah, but I mean, Memphis. I don't know. I didn't think Memphis was gonna make any noise at all in the playoffs this year.
Agreed.
So I mean, I really would like to see Ja get the fuck out of there. That would be
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Or they need to make some moves. Like I said, if they don't make moves this offseason, then Ja needs to consider hitting Zillow. Maybe finding a new spot to chill at because he does not need to be in Memphis much longer with this type of team. Okay. So I saw this and it was interesting. So I wanted to ask, and I have my opinions, and I want to see where you stand. NBA legacies that are on the line this postseason. Whose NBA legacies are most on the line this postseason?
Like all
Maybe
time.
maybe in a top 5 or top 3 scenario. No, well, the way I'm wording it is just what players going into this postseason are their legacies on the line. Like for example, to me, like okay, it's like yeah, LeBron gets to team up
Obviously,
with
LeBron.
LeBron gets to team up with Luka, but is his legacy really on the line? Like is LeBron's legacy on the line? Be for like if does the outcome of this postseason define his legacy?
No, I think the way Bron's career has gone, it's like anything good that happens is a plus. Anything bad that happens is negated. It's not
Yeah, I
necessarily
mean
negative
it
unless it's
sucks,
super bad.
but like for example, I'm trying like you'd have to convince me to not put this person at 1 or like number 1 most like legacy on the line. Donovan
Tatum,
Mitchell. Donovan
Donovan
Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell, year in, year out, gets on plays beautiful during the regular season, gets to the postseason, bounced out in the second round.
It's been
They've
what,
had this 3-headed monster in Cleveland for a minute now, and
but
now they're the
but
best team.
before that, when he
But
was on the Jazz, they were getting bounced.
that's what I'm
They
saying.
were a good
Okay,
team, but they were getting bounced every year.
so if this repeats itself again, I mean his legacy is pretty much signed and sealed in terms of
I
what it
know, but
is.
is that not like a little bit similar to how Dame's career is going?
Can you say someone's legacy is on the line this year? Okay, but what are you? We're talking about this year.
Yeah.
Like, just how much will this postseason impact these players' legacies? Dame had a blood clot, wasn't expected to play, came in and tore his
No,
Achilles.
I mean Dame's prior career in Portland.
No, yeah. So expectations for Dame going in if he was healthy, yeah, this really would have impacted his legacy.
But you
Playing
don't
with
think it's
Donovan.
already been impacted? I mean, Dame's what, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, however long further along in his career than Donovan Mitchell is. He's already been to the playoffs so many times and lost so many times that
Okay,
like
so
his legacy is not where it should be.
signed and sealed or what? Like I'm
Yeah,
confused. Okay, whose
until he does something.
legacy is on the line this postseason?
Yeah.
You keep saying Dame's career. Dame
No.
tore his
I'm
Achilles.
just
Dame's
comparing.
legacy is not on the line.
No, I understand, but I'm comparing Dame's 10 years with Portland to
Okay,
Donovan Mitchell's last 10 years.
so there probably was a point in Dame's career where his legacy was on the line, and
Yeah.
now we're just waiting to see what happens now that he's in a different environment. We saw Donovan Mitchell get put in this different environment, continue to dominate in the regular season, and now he's at a point where he is the best team. He has the best team in the East. He just fucking had the best 4-0 sweep in NBA history.
Yep.
He should be in the finals this year.
Yeah.
But if he gets bounced in the second fucking round, or gets 4-1 in the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, are you like even with Dame tearing his fucking Achilles, you're gonna still be able to expect him and Giannis to possibly have form a duo good enough to be contenders for a championship. If
Yeah,
Donovan Mitchell pulls the same shit that they pull every single year, how much longer are you gonna keep these championship expectations up?
agreed. And it's also like, what else do we need to throw at Donovan Mitchell? Do we need to put him with
A
a bigger
superstar,
superstar,
a super duper star.
a super duper star?
Like, does he need to go play with Braun? Like, I
No,
mean, what?
I I definitely do agree. Yeah, because I mean, his entire career has been, he's a great player. He can do this. He can do that. Look, they've won 60 games, and then literally, yeah, getting
Because
bounced.
like, look at Donovan Mitchell, and then like someone like Braun don't need to win. Dame could have won if he was healthy, and that would have been cool, and expectations would have been high. But then like Shy doesn't need to win yet.
Not yet.
Tatum
It's
and
getting close. It's getting
Ta-
close though.
Tatum.
Tatum already won. He's in the clear. Luka needs to win, but he just got bounced to a new team, so that's a different story.
I feel like Tatum's in the conversation in terms of like I think in terms of just like looking at if we're gonna look back on his legacy, like Boston needs to make the finals.
Yeah.
They need to be in the finals this year. If it and win or lose, I think they need to be in the
Well,
finals.
I also think that like what happened before they made the finals last year, like losing to the Heat often was a very bad look for them. Missing out on the finals in
Yeah,
2020 and 2023 for losing to a much inferior team and just getting beat by Jimmy Butler um,
but the last thing
was
Tatum
sad.
needs is to not make it the next year, and then it's a whole extra year of people just saying it was one and done, and this and
Sure.
that, and told you Tatum's a bum, and Jalen Brown's
And he
better.
shouldn't have played in the Olympic team and
It's
fucking
going to
this
be a
and that
bunch of
bullshit.
bullshit. So I don't think it's I don't think the pressure's on as much for him as Donovan Mitchell.
I agree with the Mitchell take. Ant definitely shouldn't feel any pressure yet. He just lost Cat. Um,
I think if you now, what about? Let me ask you a
Steph
question.
needs. Steph has nope. Steph is. I think for whatever reason, everything that Steph has done in his career is a plus tacked onto a zero. It's like he's never
Steph's
had to prove
already
anything.
Steph's in the Bron thing. It's like he doesn't have to.
He's never like, but Steph came from such a different level of hype than LeBron that even when he hit the league, there was zero expectation.
Mm.
So by the time we get to now, when he's 35, 36, it's like zero expectation for the man.
If you were a supposed top 5 player in the NBA and your co-star went down, should you be able to muscle through the first round?
Yes.
So what's up with Giannis's legacy?
Uh, Giannis's legacy needs to be looked at. I get it. You went out and you won a championship. Um, I don't want to call it a weak championship.
You
A little
sure?
bit it is.
I
Um,
mean,
I mean, like how many teams have won one-off championships? Do we look at him like a Kawhi? Do we look at him like a Pistons? Do we look at him like a? I mean, like there's not a lot of those one. Do we look at him like a Celtics in '08? Um, like there's not a lot of one-off teams who have won championships, and I think Giannis is at sort of the bottom of those one-off championships, especially if you can never even get back to the finals.
and I think, I mean, when you lose you lose your safety blanket in Middleton, and obviously Dame is out. You're still a top, like in some people's eyes, he's the best player in the league.
In a lot of people's eyes, yeah.
So I
It's like no,
really like.
Jokic did it multiple times, won multiple MVPs, did his thing, and like is the anomaly in
Mm.
professional basketball. But
It's just
Giannis was supposed to continue to dominate because of his size and his ability.
it's disappointing to see that like he can't like he can't go out and beat the Pacers by himself. I mean, it's just
Agreed.
I really thought this was going to be a little different for the Bucks, but I
Well, I mean, coming into the series, it was like we figured we would get Dame at some point, but the Bucks should have came into the series going, "We're not going to get Dame. We need to do everything we can." And then, obviously, they end up losing Dame tragically, fucking horrendous. What a,
tearing his
literally
fucking
the worst way to
Achilles.
go. An Achilles tear in the playoffs is
And I mean,
fucking
it's
god
just like
awful.
that
It's the
is the
worst.
worst luck. I mean,
Like you cannot get worse than Achilles tear in the playoffs. That's
well, it's
another
okay.
year.
Well, think about it. It's like so he had one thing that was like completely out of his control, which was
Blood clot
blood clots, and then you're literally running down the court. Next thing you know, your Achilles
is
snap. It's like it's
just
just
touching your knee.
they just weren't meant to win this year, and maybe this was just God's message to say, "Yo, fire Doc Rivers. Y'all are never gonna see the fucking finals
And
again."
that's the other wrinkle that I always forget about. Fuck that guy.
Yeah,
Fuck
I mean
Doc.
Doc
He needs to
Rivers.
be out of the league. The fact that they even, I mean, they had one of the best records last year. Halfway through the season, fire the head coach, bring in Dick Cheese Doc Rivers.
Now this player isn't is probably not on this list because all his hope has went out the window a couple years ago, and that's James Harden.
Kawhi and James, or just Kawhi, or just James.
I say the fact that Kawhi and James are playing at a contending level, I guess it maybe it's bringing back some type of hope, But I feel like it's more of it's like wow, like the Clippers are 2-2 with Denver right now. Like that's interesting. Like had they had the expectations of a I don't know more of a prime or more of a prime Kawhi or Harden,
Yeah.
maybe their legacy would be more impacted by this playoff run. But I don't think people really expected much out of the Clippers at all.
Not at all. I mean, I was shocked to see them in the position that they were in the regular season, just halfway through the year. I would say that there's less. It's more impressive that James Harden is back in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has a lot less pressure than a Kawhi, just because the people forget the hype that Kawhi got, the dick sucking that Kawhi got for winning a championship was absolutely insane.
Oh, through the roof.
It was like, oh, where does he rank all time? It's like, what the fuck are we doing? This guy played on in one of the best organizations of all time with the Spurs and snuck into winning a Finals MVP the same way Andre Iguodala did, and then wins a one-off where the Warriors get hurt. So, and he hits the craziest shot in NBA history. So, good for Kawhi. But honestly, it's more impressive that James Harden is back in this area, and yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think either of them should feel pressure, especially not Harden.
No, because it's like if Kawhi decides his knee hurts and he sits out, or if James Harden decides I'm chucking every single shot I get and fuck it, if I miss I miss. People are gonna go, oh well, that's James Harden in the playoffs. That's
James
Kawhi in the
Harden,
playoffs.
oh, Kawhi Leonard is
Uh,
hurt. That's how
that
it
that
works.
that's yeah that's what happens with them in the postseason. So for
But yeah,
me,
everything that will happen for the Clippers this year will be a plus. I mean, unless they lose a series,
it
because
hurts
Doc Rivers
Denver.
apparently, if you win 3 games,
I,
people don't remember I won 3 games.
them playing well hurts Jokic's legacy more than helps their legacy.
Not great.
Like
Yeah,
that, if anything.
and that is interesting. It's if the if the Celtics lose round one,
Mm.
it's like no, their legacy is way more hurt than anybody else's gain.
Yeah.
It's like when the Heat beat the Celtics. It's like, no, Tatum's legacy is hurt compared to Jimmy Butler's being uplifted. It's like, no, this feels like a one-off. This feels like you got beat instead of like Jimmy Butler beat your ass.
So, I mean, yeah, unless you can think of anybody else. Because, I mean, to be honest with you,
Halliburton and Siakam aren't going to change. No one cares.
the shit Jimmy Butler talked, he might have to be, he might be on that list in terms of legacy. Because the way Golden State's playing now, the expectations are rising, especially with Jimmy coming back and then up 3-1 versus Houston. 7 seed, up 3-1 against the 2 seed. That's a conversation. But besides that, like I think Donovan Mitchell, if you looked at all the players, all the stars, I think his legacy will be impacted the most, or his legacy is the most on the line, I would say, during this postseason run.
But for him to like bring his legacy to the next level, I think it's a finals appearance to for him to step out of that. You're just a guy who loses in the playoffs. Like if he loses in the finals, so be it.
Like you need to go beat Boston and make.
You got to make the finals, exactly.
If they could beat the Boston Celtics and make it to the finals, okay. Now
you're a team.
Now Donovan Mitchell is making some moves.
Now those 60-some wins in the regular season mean something.
But besides that, I mean, for anything else from the round one, we talked about Dame tearing his Achilles. The Bucks are absolutely cooked. Jimmy return, Golden State up 3-1. Aaron Gordon with the craziest game, not the craziest game winner in terms of
the closest we've ever seen.
Happened, but definitely in the history books. I mean, just
the tap.
Tap in.
Is it close to what was that? Was that the Grizzlies? Way back, probably 10, maybe 15 years ago. It was on a shot clock timer. It was this shot. Inbound to a behind the back, over the head, tap.
Why do I not?
0.1 seconds, you just tapped it and it went in.
Well, for some reason, I don't remember that.
It wasn't an important shot, but it was like a shot clock beater. It was like it's just a slap of the ball.
I don't know, but I'm glad that man Aaron Gordon decided to get up there and tap that fucking ball in because they were that close to
also
down.
Like just touch the ball,
Well, I mean, he did.
He grabbed it. It is Aaron Gordon.
It's fine.
And I can't fucking.
They were
barely
that
touch
close.
Rim, dude.
They were that close to being 3-1.
I know.
They were that close to being down 3-1 to the fucking LA Clippers, and that would have been a bad sight. That would have been scary.
It was a tie game.
It was a tie game. You're right.
So
we were still that close. They were still that fucking close.
They were that close.
Yeah, maybe like that
maybe
close. What was that?
No.
What was that? I don't know what that was, and I don't want to know what it was. I don't know what that was.
It was I can't remember if it was a movie or a TV show, but maybe a podcast thing. I saw something that someone did this, and it was like a joke. And they were like, how long is that? They're like, I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. You guys are getting
I don't know where that's from.
Washington's getting a new stadium?
Fuck yeah, I talked about this with you off the podcast, and I guess it wasn't official yet or whatever, but we're moving to DC.
Moving to DC.
The Washington DC Commanders are finally moving to DC. From Bendover, Maryland.
Y'all were already a DC team. Didn't really matter where y'all played. It's just kind of crazy.
DC, PG County.
1 year of like success, and they're like, "Fuck, we gotta get these fuckers."
Fuck it, we're moving. No, it was a new ownership thing.
Okay, so you're telling me,
yes,
if you guys went 6 and 11, and Jaden Daniels was on bust alert, they're not keeping y'all in that same shitty drain pipes busting out the ceiling. It's like They would have
No,
kept you in that stadium as long as they wanted to.
no, I think that one of the reasons behind buying the team from this
Uh,
ownership group, is lucrative. They've got a ton of money and they will spend it and they want to make more money. And I think the way to make more money is not have a good football team. It doesn't, like, obviously, a good football team is good, but it doesn't matter.
a good
Washington
football
has
team.
fans regardless. This isn't the Chargers.
Okay.
Washington has fans in DC. If you make a place where people want to go and they can hold other events, possibly a Super Bowl,
No.
it'll be a closed stadium.
No. It doesn't matter. They had. I mean, they. I don't. I wasn't. I don't think weather was the reason. They've had them in New York.
You're right. Well, then, so possibly a Super Bowl.
No. If y'all get a fucking Super Bowl before we do, we're gonna have a serious problem.
Agreed.
There's
But,
gotta be a.
what?
There's gotta be a Super Bowl in the bank before there's a Super Bowl in fucking RFK Stadium.
Fair.
Fuck
But
that.
all right. But outside of Super Bowls, like just being able to hold events, being able to entertain fans, and not have fans just fucking leave, because people show up regardless of how good we are. I mean, not in droves like when we're good, but it's like I'm assuming that was a big plan once the owners bought the team.
You sound like a.
It is a
Spokesperson.
bonus that we are now good at football.
You sound like a spokesperson almost for Washington. Like you're.
And in some ways, I am.
Like you could like you almost couldn't go against the idea that they are only just buying into the hype instead of caring about their fans all of a sudden.
No, you don't drop billions of dollars because of hype. You drop billions of dollars because you know you're going to make billions more dollars.
Okay, so
So I
I'm
don't
gonna
think they
say
give a
hold
damn.
on, wait. So I'm gonna say one word that's gonna completely negate everything you just
Kansas
said.
City Chiefs.
No. You said what would you say? You said no. You said no one's dropping billions of dollars in for hype.
Yeah,
Cryptocurrency.
sure.
People drop money into hype.
Sure. Was it smart?
No.
All right.
No,
So,
no,
so
it
no,
wasn't
I'm
smart.
saying that this, like, the hype of the football team is good, but bringing DC a new stadium is bigger than the football team.
I guess I don't know why. I don't know why it would. It's just it's a it's a stadium. I mean, yeah. If y'all continue to play terrible, I don't see them having any push or need to go. You know what? They need a stadium upgrade. They need. You know what they deserve? A renovation. Like if y'all were on quarterback, a different quarterback next year.
Mm-hmm.
If Jaden Daniels was an absolute bust, and they were like, well, Marcus Mariota's starting for us next season.
Yeah.
Them plans might have got pushed back a couple more years.
But again, this is a 2030 plan. We could not have, there's a possibility of not having Jane Daniels.
I guess. I guess.
But
I guess.
all I'm saying is that this is a meticulous, thought out plan by Mr. AIDS himself. And, there's no reason not to put a massive fucking couple $1 billion stadium in the center of DC.
Yeah. Well, the reason would be for a football team, especially if they're good.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. You know what's not good and is kind of cooked, and we kind of just let it silently die. The UFL.
Yeah, we're not even.
UFL's cooked.
And then we got fucking what's his nuts? Samson
Dude,
out here slapping people.
Dude, first of all, I just got dinged and now I'm pissed.
Yeah, you're ding boy.
Samson Nakua is such a bitch. Samson Nakua is such a bitch, bro. He is such a bitch. Okay, it's like cool, whatever. Fans talk their shit. You like here's my thing. It's not even like, oh, don't put your hands on somebody. Don't be the big bad fucking professional football player and bitch slap somebody and then run away and then 30 yards away, was like, that was the corniest shit. You want to talk about corny?
Yeah.
That was the corniest, like, way to never make a roster for an NFL
Not
team.
a
Like,
fucking chance he's making a roster.
Good job. You're never going
to
make
embarrass yourself, to embarrass your family name.
Well, yeah,
You've got a brother who's better than you at football and is impressive, and now you've put a
and then
Hooper on his name.
Well, and then so here's the big thing. If like all right, how do I put this? So when Tyreek Hill does things, he can afford anything that is that like any legal precautions, like any legal
repercussions.
Any legal repercussions. Tyreek Hill will be able to handle.
Yes.
A UFL player getting the shit suit out of him with all the evidence in the world.
Yo, Puka.
Yeah, see, that's the big problem. You're fucked. So whoever recorded that, shout out to them, because they're about to get a big old bag. Yep. Because you're a fan, you're allowed to talk shit. You're allowed to say.
And you got assaulted by a professional athlete.
You got assaulted, and here's the crazy thing: whether people like it or not, and I don't know what was said, but in the grand scheme of things, you can say whatever you want. You can't.
What did he hit him with the Tua?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, what are you, Hawaiian? He's like, I'm Samoan.
Like, I don't know what could he have said? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. To me,
probably a Mormon joke.
To me, I hope it was enough for you to risk never getting another chance to play football again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like besides maybe the UFL.
Like getting brought back into the UFL. I mean, there's some guys who sort of treat the UFL like college football, where it's like go and make your money and leave, or you can treat it like some other people treat college football, where it's like this is a stepping stone to playing on an NFL roster again. So some guys are going to use it to fuck off and just continue to play professional football at not the highest level. Some guys want to actually be at the highest level. So,
and the thing is, these college kids can be wild, but most of them are making more money than him at this point in their college careers and can't risk it and don't want to risk it. And aren't going to slap a fan for talking shit. I mean, it's just
some do. Some hits
stupid.
Like
that. It's stupid. Okay. Before I have you guess some athletes, I have something.
You say get?
Before I have you guess some athlete, whatever I said, I do have some something that I guess I was just inspired by the NFL draft and everything going on. I got some scouting reports throughout the years. Just some interesting scouting reports. Certain people. Mel Kipers, Chris Collinsworth, or some anonymous takes.
What was the one call that Mel made that made him super popular?
I don't know.
There was a draft where he was like, "You guys are all wrong," and then he was right.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give you a bunch. I don't know, but I'm gonna give you a bunch of examples of him being super duper wrong. So, okay, he said this about this receiver in 2011. He said he was not sure. He said this receiver was not sure-handed enough to trade up for in the 2011 draft, and he was referring to Mr. Julio Jones. So that was just
best hands. Some of the best pair of hands the league's ever seen.
Not sure-handed enough to trade up for. All right, so yeah, shout out to Mel Kipers. Another Mel Kipers one. He compared this first overall, David Carr, first overall pick.
Yep.
When he was drafted, he compared him to Troy Aikman.
Yep.
That was his comparison, and who he.
Same way Shedeur was compared to Drew Brees by Mel Kipers.
Exactly. Oh, and then the best one from Mel Kipers, and I guess he took this one back. In 2010, he claimed he would retire if this person did not become a star.
Can I
And
guess?
go ahead.
2010.
Yeah.
Matt Leinart.
Jimmy Clausen.
Oh, Claus.
He said if Jimmy Clausen doesn't become a star, he would retire. Maybe Jimmy Clausen became a star in like some other avenue, or avenue in
No,
life. It definitely wasn't the NFL where he became a star, and he
he's
did not
making a
retire.
resurgence because Shane Gillis talks about him like once a month. But
Now these next two, I love. This next one is crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. This one might be an all timer, and honestly, it needs to come out who this is because it's coming from an anonymous AFC scout. That's what it's listed as, an anonymous AFC scout. I want to know who this person is, and I really hope they don't have a job as a scout. This anonymous AFC scout said this about this quarterback. He said he doesn't see much in him. He is a clone of Kyle Bowler. Devin, he said that
Cam
about,
Ward is Kyle Bowler.
huh?
Did someone say Cam Ward was Kyle Bowler?
No, someone said Aaron Rodgers was like Kyle Bowler.
Oh,
So I see why there's a reason they stayed anonymous on this. Obviously they weren't too confident in it by staying anonymous, but yeah, no, they said he was just a clone. Aaron Rodgers is a clone of Kyle Bowler. That was just, that was a beautiful. That is just probably one of the worst scouting reports of all time, or draft
but
reports.
Aaron was like, Aaron's draft was funny because it was like, obviously the 1 seed wanted a quarterback, which was the 49ers. They took Alex Smith. And then it was like 20 some other teams didn't think they needed a quarterback. And the Packers took one, even though they didn't need one at the time. But it's very different from like Shedeur, where it's like teams needed quarterbacks. They just didn't want you. Like Jackson Dart, like they drafted up and drafted Jackson Dart. Like a lot of guys were picked before you, brother.
And then the last one. So, do you want to know Chris Collinsworth's least favorite first rounders from 2011?
Well, Chris Collinsworth was a wide receiver, so I don't know. Is he talking about wide receivers or is he talking about like quarterbacks?
No, just these are his. So these are his 3 least favorite first rounders from 2011.
From 2011?
Yep. So in 2011, yep, there you go. So in 2011, Chris Collinsworth's
Worth apostrophe yes, yeah.
Chris Collinsworth's least favorite
Chris
2000.
Collinsworth's.
Chris Collinsworth's.
Yep.
God damn, that's a fucking name.
Yeah, no, that's a big one.
Oh my god, we're gonna try it one more time for the full sentence.
Yep.
Chris Collinsworth's least favorite 2011 first rounders: Cam Newton, J.J. Watt,
Von Miller. Von Miller was 13.
Nate Solder. Vaughn was 2011. No. Vaughn was 20. I want to say Vaughn was. Either way, I think Vaughn was 2011. But yeah, Nate Solder,
2012,
offensive lineman, New England Patriots.
Yep.
Yeah, those were his 3 least favorite first round picks. So
like an MVP, a 3-time DPOY, and a very good offensive lineman.
Patriot great.
Yep.
Yeah, so those are just, honestly, I'm probably going to just find a couple of those every episode.
It's
just
nice.
The best, like, because it's like, we sit here
and
talk.
Can we look at the guy I hate the most? FS1.
Colin Cowherd? What about him?
Some of the worst takes.
Oh, I'm gonna pull up one of his takes, but I will mention the one that's been floating around. the worst the worst Colin Cowherd take as of like recently
Which
was
one?
would he trade for Shedeur?
What he
Um,
said?
oh well, I don't know exactly when this was, but this was obviously before the draft, and he said, I trade, if I'm the Steelers, I trade George Pickens and T.J. Watt, and I go get Shedeur Sanders. He said that. He said that. And you know
Yeah.
what? Just off of your reaction to me saying that, I want to hear you. I want you to hear him say that sentence. I want you to I want you to hear that sentence because he said, here we go.
Literally
Trade T.J. Watt, George Pickens, 2 first-rounders, and go get Shedeur Sanders if you think he's a starting
it's
quarterback.
worse.
I think the
It's
Steelers,
worse.
they treat quarterback a little like a New Year's resolution.
One more time.
One more time.
I would trade T.J. Watt, George Pickens, 2 first-rounders, and go get Shedeur Sanders if you think he's a starting quarterback. I think the Steelers, they treat quarterback a little.
T.J. Watt, George Pickens, and 2 first-round picks for Shedeur Sanders. That's where Colin Cowherd had that's what. Now, and here's my thing. The reason I want to bring these up the most. That's a loud noise. The reason I bring these up the most. You're good. Is because we sit here and people sit here and tell us how fucking stupid we are. Yet there are people making tens of millions of dollars saying the
that someone
shit.
needs to get rid of a defensive player of the year, an up and coming great receiver, and 2 first-round picks for a guy who's Deion Sanders' son.
Shedeur fucking Sanders. All right, Devin.
Who we didn't talk about until 2.5 years ago.
Time to guess some athletes.
For no reason.
Right. Time for you to guess some athletes. Fuck it. Here we go. I'll just give it to you. We got
Pause.
First player. Come on. Why can't we just hit play and resume? Why do we gotta pause shit?
We gotta pause.
Why do we gotta pause? It's 2025. Do we really have to keep pausing?
Yeah, I don't want to get touched up.
Can we not just buffer for a sec?
We can buffer.
Can we not just buffer?
Buffer sounds way worse.
Can we not just buffer and
I don't want to buff nobody, dude.
Let's buffer, reconnect. We don't gotta pause.
We could
Yeah, we can buffer, reboot, reconnect.
We could push that little restart button on the back of a TV with a pencil.
Exactly. We will unplug.
That's nice.
We will unplug and plug back in.
Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again?
Count to 10, plug back in.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do. No more pausing. All right.
Support.
This first player. This player is the only player with 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, and 100 rushing yards in a game.
2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns.
And 100 rushing yards.
Okay.
In a game. This player has the most rushing yards by a quarterback in a 5-game stretch. This quarterback has the most rushing yards in a game by a non-running back. Okay, we getting somewhere? No?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Maybe. He's
the only quarterback with multiple 60-plus yard rushing touchdowns.
In a season.
Ever. He's the only quarterback to have multiple 60-yard plus rushing touchdowns, period.
Okay.
Nothing?
Nah, there's something.
Give me a guess before I give the final hint.
Lamar Jackson?
No.
Justin Fields?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
It's Justin Fields.
Yeah. I mean, I was in between because Justin had touched up a lot of the little records that Lamar had broken or hadn't broken or whatever. Yeah.
And he's played for 3 teams. Well, he's on 3 teams. He was on 3 teams, I guess.
He's been on 3 teams.
He's been on 3 teams. All right, this next player. This player has played for 4 teams. He's made the Pro Bowl once. He has the most rushing attempts without a fumble. He was the first, he was the first undrafted running back to start his career with consecutive 1,000-yard rushing seasons.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
I was about to say Melvin Gordon, but I don't think it's Melvin.
You'd be thinking, right? Okay. It's not Melvin Gordon.
Okay. I'd be thinking right.
That
it's not Melvin Gordon.
I don't think it's Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, no. I'm trying to think of like the fumble thing.
Yeah, 4 teams, 1 Pro Bowl, most rushing attempts without a fumble. So this person has never fumbled and has the most rushing attempts. To this day, has not fumbled. First undrafted running back with back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons in his first 2 years.
Jamal Williams.
He has the most all-purpose yards in the University of Colorado history. So there you go, you fucking Shedeur fans, you fucking Colorado fans. Tell me who this is. Tell me who this is.
I love Shedeur so
what's
much.
Crazy is, I bet you a lot of these Colorado fans couldn't even have told you that this was who this was, or this person even played for the University of Colorado.
No, they're all banging Google right now.
Yeah, they are. I'm banging Bing.
I bang Bing.
Who is it?
Is it the dude on ESPN?
No, he plays in the NFL.
Right now?
Yes.
I was about to say Louis Riddick. I feel like he went to Colorado.
No, this man is in the NFL.
Fuck. You said played for 4 teams, 1 Pro Bowl.
Yep. Most rushing yards most rushing attempts without a fumble. He was undrafted, but first 2 years had 1,000 yards rushing.
Miles Sanders?
No. You have no clue, do you?
Brian Robinson?
No. Let me tell you?
No, one more guess.
Okay.
Fuck. Can I get an NFC or AFC? Where's he at right now?
I want to say he's played all 4 in the AFC. I want to say. Let me make sure. Yep, all 4 teams. Who's in the AFC? I'll say he's. The last hint is okay. He's fallen off since 2020, since COVID.
Who's a good COVID running back?
Or like right before COVID, the first, the last 2 years before COVID.
A.J. Dillon?
No. You want to know who it is?
Yeah.
This is going to bring up some memories of just players you forgot existed. It's Philip Lindsay.
Oh, he's still in the league?
Mm-hmm. He was.
Philip Lindsay went to Rado?
Philip went
No
to
way.
Colorado. He had those 2
The
years
Bronco
with Denver.
dog.
He had those first 2 years with Denver and was going crazy, and then
Bro,
500 yards max since then.
Literally went dummy those
I don't
first
know.
2 years.
I don't know what happened to bro. All right, this
The
player.
hair.
This player has more receiving yards than Calvin Johnson, but less than Derek Mason.
Damn.
He has 8 Pro Bowls.
8?
8. He has less receptions than Keenan Allen, but more than Julio Jones. He has the 3rd most third down touchdown receptions. He's a 2025 Hall of Famer.
Chris Carter.
No.
Oh, Andre Johnson.
No.
Who the fuck was the 2025 Hall of Fame? Mother bitch. It wasn't Andre. Sure it wasn't Andre?
I'm positive.
Well, of course.
It was not Andre.
Steve Smith?
Nope.
What the fuck?
Who said he was a receiver? I didn't.
You didn't? You did not. And I don't know what the fuck to do. AP.
Okay, maybe let's try a position switch one more time, and someone who would have. Yeah, no, yeah. AP has more receiving yards than Calvin Johnson.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Oh, we're looking at it. Son of a.
That's the answer.
Son of a Gronkowski.
Nope.
No?
It's not Gronkowski, but at least you're in the fucking ballpark now.
I'm in the position.
I just want to see, like...
Gronk retired in 20...
I just want to pull up the difference.
21, 22.
I just want to pull up the difference in this player and Adrian Peterson's. Or, yeah, no. Well, no.
Cal's only got, what, 9? 9 Gs?
You said Calvin's got only? Is that what you said?
That is what I said, yeah.
Only?
Only 9.
No,
Yeah.
Calvin has 11,619.
Oh, never. 11.
Yeah. 11,619. So I'm just curious if he has 11.6, right? And then if I went to running back Adrian Peterson, just out of curiosity, he has a total of 2,474 receiving
Nah, it's
yards.
so close. It's not even funny, you dumb idiot. What the fuck's wrong with you? Oh, Adrian Peterson. Oh, yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy that everyone was thinking of. That's the man. I'm right. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, of course I'm right. Hand up. Accountability. That's on me.
Less receptions than Keenan Allen, more than Julio.
All right, Jimmy Graham, Antonio Gates.
It's Antonio Gates.
Okay, thank you.
God damn.
Well, I said Antonio Gates about a minute ago, and I was like, oh, fuck.
I didn't hear you. Did you say Antonio Gates?
AG, yeah.
Oh.
But he was such a...
Oh,
I know him for his...
AG? Is that what you said? AG? You thought I was gonna catch that and go, "Oh, he's talking about Antonio Gates."
No. I said Antonio Gates.
I thought. Okay.
I didn't say AG.
Okay. I thought you said. Yeah, I said AG.
No, AG is Aaron Gordon.
Gordon. Or
Augustus Gloop.
Is that a person?
Was that the guy? What's the guy's name from Willy Wonka? Is it Augustus Gloop?
Augustus from Willy Wonka?
Yeah, look up the fat kid from
Willy Wonka.
I'm sorry. No, this is necessary though. Like it might be AG. His initials might be AG, and that might be a big stupid moment.
Augustus Gloop.
I'm right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. That's awesome. I'm so excited right now. That's awesome.
That's another movie I've never seen.
No, it was like Augustus Gloop. Augustus Gloop. You never seen Willy Wonka?
No.
What? That was awesome.
Nah, that dude in the
That was the biggest pull of my life. That was the most impressive pull I've ever had on this podcast.
Willy Wonka, he creeps me out.
Nah, very much so. It's very weird.
I don't like, bro. Who is it that played him?
Well, it was Gene Wilder is the original, and then Johnny Depp.
Yeah. No.
Both weird.
I'm good on both of them. I'm almost as good on that as I am on like we were talking about Happy Gilmore too. I guess Adam Sandler's just running through the hits because he's making a Waterboy too.
Are they really?
They're making a second Waterboy as well. So Adam Sandler's just running through the hits. We're gonna get a fucking Grown Ups 4 or
we're gonna get a Grown Ups 9. We're gonna get a Billy Madison 7.
So yeah, he's just running through the hits at this point.
Uncut Gems.
But speaking of running through the hits, we talked about Shedeur to the Browns. The Lakers falling apart. NBA legacies on the line this postseason. Dame tearing his Achilles. The Bucks being cooked. Golden State being up 3-1. Aaron Gordon's game winner. Some off the record shit. Bad scouting reports. Guessing the athlete. Is there anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
No. I'm still riding pretty high off the Augustus Gloop.
That's good.
I haven't seen that movie in 10 years. That feels very nice. So I'm pretty excited. Go Skins. I might go to the new stadium. Probably not. Fuck that place. Because by the 2030 we're gonna suck. So
that's fine. You can go to. They'll probably host plenty of Monster Jams or something there.
I'll have a Monster Jam. Everybody loves Monster Jam.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I thought I didn't think Monster Jam still existed.
Oh, people love
it.
That's more like a Baltimore, like whatever that stinky arena is called, like First Mariner Bank or whatever it is. Whatever the place that changes the name 18 times. That place that hosts the Monster Jams.
That place, dude. Yeah. But yeah, no, Monster Jam. Didn't know it still existed, but
Gravedigger, brother.
Fuck, that's all I know.
That's the only one I know.
It's the only person I know. I guess with all that being said, we got to get the fuck out of here. Yeah. We talked everything we had to talk about, and we're gonna be back on Saturday to talk about more NBA playoffs. Probably some second round matchups set, I would expect. So maybe start talking about some fantasies, some fantasy pickings, fantasy lineups, or whatnot. But yeah, we got plenty of shit to discuss next episode. Brand new episodes every Tuesday and Saturday. We will be back on Saturday. It has been me. It has been Devin. It has been real. We are out.
Augustus Gloop.